a bit of a... I've hit my hand. I tried to start a video and I hit my hand straight away. A bad start to a video. What was I going to say? I see I'm even doing it now. I'm bashing my glasses. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've turned violent. What I was going to say was a bit of a mishmash of a video. Maybe I should put these on before I break them. Bit of a mishmash of a video today. There's a couple of things to cover. It is generally about the team. I've not had, you have to excuse me, I've not had a lot of time to respond to the comments over the last couple of days. I had a very, very busy few days. But I have noticed there's a couple of comments on there saying, calm down, calm yourself down, take it easy, see where we are. I've got to be honest, I don't really want to calm down, all right? I understand. The next game is tough. Personally, a little bit of a spoiler, rather than preview, I think we might lose the next game, all right? I know the next few after that are tough. I am fully aware that we are unlikely to finish in Champions League places. However, these points now, these moments in time as a West Ham fan come along very seldom. Not very often at all. I'm struggling. I'm thinking 4 or 5 in my lifetime, really, when you can actually look at a team and think, wow, and enjoy it. So I don't want to calm down. I seem to have spent a lot of the early season saying we'll find out how good West Ham are after the next game. Do you remember that? I certainly remember saying it before the first time that we played Sheffield United at the first fixture. I remember saying it up to them. We'll find out a lot more. And then we played Sheffield United, and it wasn't a great performance. I thought, okay, maybe we have to start believing now if we're playing badly. When the first game against Villa, we played badly and we won. But I don't want to keep calm anymore. We're in the home straight. In athletics terms, we are in the home straight now. Sprint. Now we've got a sprint to get the gold. I'll take silver or bronze, quite frankly. But I don't want to calm down, all right? I don't want to calm down. I want to enjoy it. And there's a couple of other things that I want to talk about with regard to the team. One of them is team spirit, and the other one is us giving opposition teams something to think about. It's a subject I've been going on about for a little while now, for a few years. Anyone who's watching Hammers Chat a little while will know. I would often say to Gio, we need to get a manager in. We need to bring players in that actually, when an opposition manager gets our team sheet, thinks, okay, we're going to have to adjust what we're doing to counter them. Not just the hour before game. When I say the team sheet, I don't just mean that. I mean maybe in the week preceding the game against West Ham. I want managers, opposition managers, to have to do something that will counter what we offer. And for too long at West Ham, apart from those moments where I said we've been punctuated by having really good teams, you know, when you might look at someone like an Alan Pardew team and they didn't know whether the threat was coming from Dean Ashton, or I didn't know whether the threat was coming from Yossi Benayoun or anyone else. Or, you know, you want to go back, you pick your favourite team, you know what I mean. Last season at Upton Park, the threat could have come from a number of areas, although it did sort of mostly come from Dimitri Payet. But for a long time, we have almost had one threat. That makes us easy to deal with. Not just us, anybody. Because you can, if you've got a really good player, you can almost man mark them or double up on them, and its threat is over. Particularly as we've not traditionally been a set-piece team, really. So you keep West Ham quiet from open play, you basically keep West Ham quiet. I just think it's so much different now. Now there are so many players that the opposition managers have to look at West Ham and think, we're going to have to watch this geezer. Let me offer you, first of all, the first example is Thomas Souček. Now, Thomas Souček is a rampaging goal-scoring midfielder, and quite frankly, he must be a massive pain in the bum for opposition managers. But he's not a flamboyant player. I don't know why Coutinho was the first one that popped into my mind then, but that sort of player, he's not a flamboyant number 10. Oh, you can probably say, right, okay, we'll put someone on him. You can't, because number one, he plays too deep for most of the game. He's also doing a lot of heading, a lot of tackling. You're almost wasting a marker by doing it. You just got to hope that your midfield counter whatever he's going to do. And you've got to instruct him, look, he's going to run late. When West Ham get the ball wide and West Ham are building up a counter-attack, he's going to make a run into that box. He's probably going to appear at the back post. Watch him. When West Ham get the ball on a counter, watch Souček. That's probably all you can do in that. You come to set pieces, that's slightly different. We'll get to set pieces in a minute, because that's another reason that you've got to make special provision for West Ham. But then you look at someone else. So that's Souček. What about Michail Antonio? Michail Antonio is a massive, massive pain in the bum as well. A huge reason why we stayed up last season, by the way. And on his day, one of the better strikers in the Premier League, and somebody that you can't leave alone for a second if you're a defender, because he's going to cause you all manner of problems. He's going to bully you. He's going to drag you out of position quite often, and he's highly likely to score a goal. So you're going to have to watch him as well, really, really closely. And then you start looking at other players as well. And look what David Moyes has now done, and I do think this is key and this is crucial, by bringing in Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard is so good, he warrants special attention. Well, if Jesse Lingard's getting special attention, certainly Souček and Antonio can't be getting dedicated special attention all the time. We start to pose problems for opposition teams here. Now, Lingard, again, he is going to work hard. He's not going to stand still and just let you mark him. He's going to, once again, he will drag you all over the place. He's got the quality that when he gets the ball, he can do something. He's going to stop running, perpetual motion all the time. But he's going to offer a constant threat. It's another thing that the opposition managers are going to have to say in the team talk or in the training. Right, okay, we've got to watch out for Lingard. We're going to have to watch out for Souček. We're going to have to watch out for Mikel Antonio. What about Jarrod Bowen? I know it may be not the most fashionable of players to mention at the moment, but another huge reason we stayed up last season. You can't just leave him be, because if you do, he's actually got a very good delivery. He's got lots of assists, Bowen. He's got a very good delivery on him. And he does have the potential to score a goal. But you can't man mark, or you can't do all these players, if you pardon the expression, you can't do all of these players. And then what about someone like Aaron Cresswell arriving from deep? You're probably going to have to track his runs as well. That's if you know whether he's going to play left back or play left centre back. He's one of the best creative defenders in the game. Aaron Cresswell's probably got more assists than a lot of midfielders. I don't know where he stands in the... I don't know if he wanks as high as any in Rome, put it that way. But he's up there in terms of assists getters this season. You've got to be a certain age to understand what I've just said, obviously. Then look at somebody like Said Benrahma. Said Benrahma is exactly the type of person who you might look at a club West Ham. If West Ham only had one creative player, one, and it was Said Benrahma, he's the sort of guy that opposition teams might think, okay, they've got a load of clunky plodders there, the rest of them, but they've got this one really, really good genius, let's double up on him. Well, they can't. You can't do that. You can't double up on someone like Benrahma. The reason to double up on him is because you might be able to mark him singly. He nutmegs you or flicks the ball past you. Then your tactical plan's out the window. You've got to make special provisions for somebody who's moves that quick and is that tricky. You can't do that if you're sorting out everybody else. My point is there's acres of space for everyone. And you get these acres of space and you've got someone like Declan Rice. All right, Declan Rice, no attacking midfielder. He will think nothing. If he sees 10 yards of space ahead of him, he'll just drive into it with the ball, carrying the ball. I just like it. I think we're giving the opposition teams an absolute load of things to think about. And that's when that's without factoring the set plays. There's no way you can play West Ham and just think, oh, look, do whatever at the corners. Whatever you think at the time, just do it. No, you're going to have to make special provision for it. And you probably don't know what we're going to do when we chuck in the odd innovative one, the odd sneaky one. When we're hanging it over, you probably know we're either going to go back post or we're going to flick it on. But what are you going to do about it? You know, Souček's a threat. If Ogbona's playing, he's a threat. If not, don't worry, Diop will come and score a goal. What about Dawson? Dawson's scoring tons of goals. They have to, and it's not you can just mark them and leave Declan Rice and Mikel Antonio free at corners. They're more than capable of heading the ball in the net as well. I just think it's really, really nice for us to be able to pose a set of problems for the opposition team now. The other thing I just wanted to talk about just quickly was the spirit of the team and the determination of the team. I'm talking about Thomas Souček and his cut eye. I'm talking specifically about him getting the cut eye and jumping straight up to try and stop a goal. Only at the point where there was a break in play do you think, okay, now I can get the hospital attention or the stitches or whatever it might needed. His instinct at the point of getting hurt was still to stop the goal. Now, there are a lot of players in the Premier League who wouldn't do that and who don't do that. I will pick the two highest profile players that come into my mind as Jack Grealish and Mo Salah. You could whisper something to them and they'd fall over. Fart next to them and they would fall over. And they'd do a couple of rolls for good measure, right? They go down and stay down under minimum contact. They are not throwing themselves in the way of anything. Granted, you know what? It might not be their job to stop the goals going in, but they are not that committed to the cause that they won't. They're trying to do something sneaky. I don't think there are that many players like Souček. One springs to mind. He's not even in the league. Troy Deeney. Troy Deeney would cut his eye, have blood pouring down his face, and would still battle on. Maybe not in a defensive way, maybe, you know, an attacking way. It wouldn't deter him. You can imagine him on the sidelines thinking, just get it stitched up and let me get back on. Why? Because he's not throwing a 2-year-old's tantrum. He's a grown man. And he's like Souček. And I looked at it. I thought, we've got a lot of these players. We've got a lot of players that would do that. It's rare to have one. Well, hold on a second. Let's have a think about this. This is why we love Stuart Pearce. That's why he's a cult hero at every club he's ever been at and for England. That's why we love Ginger Pele, by the way. Committed, totally committed to the cause. Well, hold on a second. What about Dawson? Would Dawson split his eye open and carry on? I think you know the answer. This is the boy that passes out, gets a Jaffa cake, don't worry about it, off you trot, and we go, bosh. That's a header, by the way, not a headbutt. He would absolutely do that. Anyone else? Ogbonna? I think he would. Ogbonna's shown himself capable of doing anything, by fair means or foul, to stop a goal. But Sue foul. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't crikey. I mean, a lovely fella and all that, but blimey, I mean, he looks like he'd do anything. I really do think he would. And then you've got Declan Rice. Would Declan Rice split his head open and then carry on playing? Yeah. We've got a lot of those players. I may be missing some. I may well be missing some. I really, maybe you'd say Antonio would do the same, maybe Fornals. I mean, all these players have got very, very good attitudes, by the way. And this is what it comes down to. It comes down to an attitude. And you have enough of those players in your team that has to make a difference. Okay, does running through a brick wall supersede, like we're playing Man City, does the ability to run through a brick wall supersede £1 billion worth of talent or £500 million worth of talent or whatever it is the Man City have got? Okay, possibly not. But it is going to have an impact at some point, particularly over a topsy-turvy season. This is a topsy-turvy season, like last season at Upton Park when Leicester won the title. Topsy-turvy season. You've got to be in place to take advantage of that. And we are. And just this utter resilience, possibly at a time when people are unsure and there's all these things. You've got the COVID, you've got no fans in the stadium, the fixtures and the whole season as a whole is a little bit messed up. Actually, being strong mentally, which is clearly what we are, becomes a huge factor. It's like Declan Rice said in his interview, Gio said the other day. Refuse to lose, refuse to concede. I loved hearing that from Rice. I also liked what he said about about Mourinho doing the team talk or whatever. I do. I'm pleased he said that, but I don't think it made a difference. I think that this is what they're like. I think they'd have been 100% determined anyway. I think they were going out there anyway. I don't think Mourinho's words cajoled them and made us win. No, I just think they had no impact. I think he tried to undermine them, but our spirit is so strong. Our mental fortitude is at such a level that actually stuff like that just ain't going to bother us. And why should it when you've got these players who are willing to run through brick walls? So I don't want to stop getting excited. There's a lot to admire about the team. There's a lot to love about the team. And here's how it is and here's how I feel about it. There's a lot to feel very proud about the team. And I am immensely proud with them. I really am. It's, as I say, there's not many times, not many points in supporting West Ham when it's like this. So do enjoy it. And do enjoy it because I have a feeling we will talk about this season. This will be spoken about in a few years. So do enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Soak it up, as they say. And enjoy the team because it is an absolutely cracking team and one that all of us can absolutely be proud of.